Hello friends, and welcome to today's episode. Melissa Highsmith had no idea that a real family was trying to find her. Heather Wake's Melissa Highsmith was taken away from her home in Fort Worth, Texas, in the year 1971. Her absence is one of the oldest cases of a lost person in the United States. Now, she gets to see her family again after a long separation. She calls this a Christmas miracle. ABC station WFAA said that Melissa's mother, Alta, now known as Alta Apantenko, had put out an ad for a babysitter to watch over her 21-month-old daughter while she was at work. Ruth Johnson, a well-dressed woman with white gloves, answered the call, but she wasn't a babysitter. Once Johnson took Melissa from Apantenko's roommate, they were never seen together again. As any other parents would do in this situation, the Highsmiths did everything they could to find their daughter. They worked with the Fort Worth cops and even the FBI to do this. Sad to say, nothing helped. The only thing that gave them hope was that there was no sign of harm, so maybe, just maybe, Melissa was in good hands. And the family held on to that idea for 51 years. Melissa, who didn't remember being taken away, had a hard time living with the woman who said she was her mother. When I was a child, I didn't feel loved. It was bad, so when I was 15, I ran away. I went out in public. I did what I needed to do to stay alive. I worked on the streets, she told WFAA in a personal conversation. Then, everything would change in September. After the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children got a false tip that Melissa had been seen, her father, Jeffrey Highsmith, who was no longer married to Apantenko, chose to try DNA testing. The DNA testing company 23andMe found a match between him and Highsmith. Then, Melissa's brother, Jeff, looked for her on Facebook and got in touch. Even though Melissa was not sure, the Highsmiths showed her a picture of a baby who looked like her twin. Good Morning America said that Melissa was born with a unique mark and had a birthday very close to the one of the child who was taken all those years ago. Melissa knew for sure that the woman she thought was her mother as soon as she talked to her. She told Fox 25, "I asked the person who raised me if there was anything she needed to tell me, and she confirmed that she knew I was baby Melissa." That made it real. Melissa and her family had been living less than 20 minutes apart the whole time. This was perhaps the weirdest turn of events. This news is both sad and happy, but for now, the family is focused on making up for lost time and enjoying being together again. "I'm so happy I can't even put it into words." Apantenko told WFAA, "I'm so happy to see my daughter, who I didn't think I'd ever see again. I feel like I'm dreaming, and I keep having to pinch myself to make sure I'm awake," Melissa said. On their shared Facebook group page, the family wrote, "The joy is palpable among all family members," and said that Melissa was found purely because of DNA, not because of any police FBI involvement, podcast involvement, or even our family's own private investigations or speculations. They're not on their own. In the past, an ancestry service helped a guy who had been kidnapped in 1964 find his real family. There is still a long way to go in terms of making DNA files more diverse, but DNA testing has become more and more important in finding lost people over the years, and it continues to change the game. The plan for the Highsmith family, who just got back together, is to just take things day by day. WFAA says that Melissa has officially changed her name to her real name. Before, she was known as Melanie. She also wants to get married again to her present husband so that her father can walk down the aisle. Everyone in the family will always remember how hard it was to get here. That's it for today, friends. Please let us know what you think about this story. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon for more amazing stories.